Predator Hunting Grounds is a team-based PvPvE FPS experience that's all about getting dirty with your bros and shooting children. Styled after the once popular Evolve, another jank-ass Monsters vs. Humans game left to rot, you get to play as either A. a squad of US ambassadors on a diplomatic mercy mission to East Asia, or B. the weakest man in Vietnam. Most of the time, you will be playing as the humans. Their style of gameplay is quite familiar if you are above the age of 3 and know what a video game is. It's the standard fare of first-person POV gun shooting while listening to the formless voice in your head. Ow! Your job is to complete your randomly assigned mission and fight off the human PMC shootermen while doing so. And in the greater scope of the game, both of these things barely constitute as gameplay. The overall mission changes from gathering intelligence to assassinating targets, but in the end, all you do is run 200 meters to a place, hold F, wait for a bar to fill, run to another place, wait for another bar to fill, and then run to extract. The human objectives have only the barest amount of interactability, and the enemy guerrillas don't help at all. This is quite possibly the most brain-dead AI I have ever seen. I'm pretty sure all the compulsory military training these guys get takes place at the wheat farm, because their greatest tactical strength is to slowly walk at you in a conga line, stop 10 meters away from you, and shoot you. Maybe, occasionally, they will take cover. More often, they will spot you, have a split second of aneurysm, and then sprint for the alarm. Can I be perfectly honest? It's boring. The combat encounters between the human players and the human AI are the fillerest of filler in the entire existence of video games. The soldiers do come in a few variations, but they are almost a non-threat, only becoming somewhat of a problem if an alarm gets sounded and their obligatory chip damage turns into a death by 1,000 cuts. What you're here for is the Predator. This specimen, bred from a steady diet of communist propaganda and rice noodles with pork, is your ultimate enemy. Your encounter with this jungle monkey is the deciding factor on how much fun you are going to have as a human fireteam player. These encounters will vary extremely depending on the Predator's skill and playstyle. Sometimes you will have tense, sporadic fights with the Predator, as he darts in to deal a lot of damage before scoring off to heal as you return fire. Sometimes, most of your team will get wiped, and you will be hunted constantly, taking potshots at each other, trying to distract one another with various gear and to run off to get reinforcements. Sometimes he will flail and die instantly. And sometimes you will fight a Predator that has 1000 hours of playtime and exclusively uses the most broken equipment combination, so he will discover you within the first 30 seconds and kill you with a stupid fucking heavy axe. Jesus Christ! These fights are the one and only reason to play the game. Everything outside of them sucks various skies of dick. Luckily, the game devs have mostly realized this, and your lack of enjoyment is dependent solely on the human factor. Just like in real life, there is a large difference between fighting off a normal adult Predator and a child Predator.
Wait a minute, I didn't put it on Predator. I put it on human.
There is no AI replacement for the Predator, by the way. If he leaves your game, the game will continue and you will gain experience. There's just no challenge to be had. Experience is important. You unlock more gear, weapons, and perks for both the fire team and the Predator at the same time. Seeing as the basic no gear Predator sucks and is easily near the bottom of the power list, it might be a good idea to get a few levels playing as the fire team first. You will get a good feel on how the game works, on what the humans are actually trying to accomplish, and the usual way they might go about doing so. Even if you are insistent on just maining the Predator, you should still play as the fire team occasionally. Think of it as scouting out your enemy in a real deep, close way. You gain experience from shooting PMCs, doing objectives, grabbing loot, opening boxes, shutting off alarms, and just generally doing literally anything. There is no real grind, you are almost guaranteed to gain a level each time you play a match. You also gain experience with weapons, which allows you to use different attachments. Weapons are not made equal. Most of the choices are there to pad out the leveling system. You're not unlocking side grades as much as you are just getting better things that will be thrown away when you get to something even better. The humans have a standard fare of bullet dispensers and some occasional exotic choices. They have the usual primary, secondaries, equipment like grenades, and perks. The Predator is slightly different. He always carries his wristplate and plasma cannon, giving him a melee and a range option. On top of this, he has effectively 2 primary slots. These can be 2 melee weapons, 2 ranged weapons, or a mix depending on what you prefer. He of course also gets equipment and perks much like the humans, although his choice of equipment is slightly more limited. Everything also has a certain cost, so you can't just only stack the best perks, and you are forced to make slight sacrifices to your build. On top of this, there are also classes and specializations, which affect your build in various ways. Each class supports a slightly different playstyle, and the specializations play into this, giving you different kinds of bonuses. Some classes are unique, such as the 2 types of Arnold, which are quite a popular choice, and you will see and hear him quite often. Offering his skill, moral support, and guidance.
Hostile farmer. Hostile rice farmer. Purple. Purple stuff. Purple crypto. Come on, get out of the way.
And sometimes there's 2 of them. I'm not going to go on a tier list breakdown of what each team has, but let's say that some builds are more effective than others. No, he switched to his rocket launcher build.
Hey, Predator, I have a rocket launcher with your name on it, mate.
Oh my fucking god. For example, as a fire team member, I can pick the Assault class, which has a passive 10% increase to damage with build weapons. Use the Deadly specialization, which gives me another 10% damage with assault rifles, and then pick Yaoja's Bane for yet another 10% more damage. Now, all I need to do is slap on an AK, mod up, and wait for one of my teammates to get slapped. The ensuing volley from my 45 round extended mag will either scare the Predator into running away back to his rice farm, or risk getting killed. As the Predator, you either use the axe or the hammer and just stack melee damage, or you stack energy regen and range damage and spam the plasma caster. That's what most people do anyway.
Oh goddamn.
It's all a matter of skill. If you're good enough, then nearly any build is viable. A good starting point is the ranged style of play. It is annoying to play against, but it's also very safe. The plasma does splash damage, goes through walls, and has virtually infinite range. Just don't stay in one spot too long, and don't be afraid to use your melee. Remember, you get virtually no experience if you don't do melee executions.
You know what? I'm gonna ping the fuck out of you. I'm gonna bite your goddamn ankles. Come here.
After that, feel free to branch out into mixed or more melee-centric playstyles.
You fucking hacking cunt. I have got you at close range twice. Twice. You hacking cunt.
You almost killed me.
Nah, you hack. Don't fucking lie, you hacking cunt.
Also, if you do use the hammer or the axe and spam the heavy attack, keep in mind that it's very embarrassing to actually lose and die to the humans with that specific loadout. There is nothing more humiliating than using broken meta-slave weapons and then still managing to job. At that point, I suggest uninstalling. The Predator is quite a tricky character. He is a very loud and proud individual, and he will announce his presence to all the literally filthy white males who dare intrude his jungle. If the jungle starts clicking or emitting other strange, unnatural sounds, you might be in danger. If he happens to jump you, not all hope is lost. Because you're a main character, you are able to parry the alien's melee strikes. This stuns the Predator and allows your teammates to shoot him and hopefully save you. If your reflexes are poor, or if the Predator uses the axe or the hammer, then you are probably going to die, because the heavy attacks of those weapons cannot be parried. You may also parry perfectly and still get killed because you have no teammates anywhere near you. This might be your fault. More often than not, it's the fault of your teammates. I am a perfect, flawless being. If I am dead, then clearly it's because someone else messed up. Not my problem. Death is not entirely the end, however. Both the fire team and the Predator get one lifeline. Once a fire team member gets killed, after a minute or so, a special objective appears somewhere on the map, which allows the humans to call in a one-time respawn. This isn't instant and can only be used once, so it's best not to waste it on just one person. The Predator, on the other hand, gets second wind. The first time his health goes to 0, he emits an annoying flashbang effect and enters a bleed out mode. This allows him to recover from a fuck up, run away and heal. Just like the fire team, he can only do this once. If the Predator goes down again, he can activate his self-destruct nuke. This isn't automatic, but most players have the IQ necessary to hold down a single huge flashing button.
I parried him, so now he's dead. Good job.
Get him. No, you know what? I'm running. No, he hasn't done the thing. He hasn't done the thing. Most players. If this happens, the humans have a short window to play a minigame and defuse the nuke and get some extra XP for recovering the body, or run away from the blast.
Oh no, I'm not gonna make it!
Ugh, I just barely made it. Anyway, teammates, you get 3 of them. with an RNG factor deciding their IQ, which can range anywhere from 100 to -12 Fahrenheit.
Oh god.
Amor. Oh, fuck.
Communication is limited. This is a PlayStation game first, so no text chat. You have a wheel, whose primary use is memes, or voice chat, which is monopolized by the entirety of Brazil, Mexico, and the collected network of British primary schools.
Hello. Hello.
Oh.
I'm the predator.
Oh my fucking god. This game also features crossplay. Let me tell you about crossplay. Crossplay is the greatest argument for enforced segregation. As a Steam user, I was mostly matched with PlayStation players. After many vigorous hours of research, I've come to the conclusion that PlayStation players are worse than the brain-dead bots you can have instead of human teammates. At least the bot will follow me to the objective and shoot enemies. Here is how your typical game will go. You rappel in, using sign language because everyone is too awkward to talk, and, upon landing, your Sony pony teammates will sprint off into different directions. Without fail, they will proceed to the nearest enemy camp, ignore the very loud and bright icon of a man ring for the alarm, and get the whole camp alerted. Their mission complete, they will proceed to shoot the wall until they get picked off by either the Predator or the IPMCs. That is, assuming they shoot at all. This is not a joke. This is not an attack on the Sony fanbase. This is merely documented truth. I am not cherry picking. In each and every match, at least one PlayStation player will do exactly as I described. An inside joke or 5G tower induced mass psychosis. You decide. I will simply sit here and suffer. But if you do get a semi-competent team and go up against a predator that isn't a child or mentally disabled, you might just enter the zone.
How long do we have?
Once you become fully immersed in your jungle journey, there is nothing better than the tense game of hunter and prey, especially when the roles can switch at a moment's notice. Just because you managed to drive after Predator once, doesn't mean he can't come back and kill all of you later. And on the other hand, just because your whole team is down, doesn't mean you can't pull off a clutch victory against an arrogant and cocky opponent. This is why I continue to play the game, despite all the bugs and frustrations. This is almost kind of the ideal PvP experience. I love it. Should you buy this game? Maybe. Right now, there's a summer sale going on, and the game is quite affordable. For this price, I'd say you can get quite a few satisfactory hours out of it. But for the regular 40, yeah, nah. The matchmaking is ass. Sometimes you get stuck in a lobby and have to quit out. There's basically no effort to match the skill level of the players, which can unbalance your game wildly.
Out of my way, son! Door stuck! Door stuck! Please!
The balance itself across the board is all over the place. If you lose internet for half a millisecond, you will be kicked without any way to rejoin, and so on and so forth. In my effort to be honest, I may appear to be trying to bring the game down. That isn't actually the case. There are many, many flaws in the hunting grounds, but this is one of those rare cases where the dirt and grime can be mostly ignored, and what remains is a beautiful, if very rough gem. Despite me not being a huge fan of PvP games, this one won me over. And it's not even the most polished game on the market, even though it has many cancers of modern games like loot boxes and matchmaking instead of a server browser. It still somehow captures the feeling of early 2010s, where it's just you and a bunch of randos having fun online.
Get me up.
I'll get you up.
Quick!
We'll have to get to the helicopter though.
Yeah, get to the chopper!
Come on,
Okay.
let's go.
Get to the chopper! I'm trying.
Get to the chopper! If you enjoy having some rough, dirty fun with your friends, then maybe you'll enjoy the game, like I did. I give this game a 30 out of however many loot boxes I still have to get through. Seriously, this is not funny, it's actually ridiculous. You get one every time you level up, and you level up after every match. I'll see you later next time. Oh, God.